Welcome to the Attraction Matriarch podcast. I'm Bunny, helping men understand women since 2018. This is where we talk attraction psychology, intimacy dynamics, relationship repair, masculine leadership, feminine response, and the patterns beneath modern relationships that most people never see clearly. If you want stronger attraction, deeper understanding, and a clearer read on women, you are in the right place. Welcome in. Let's get into it.
There is a hard truth that many men eventually discover, and it can be painful when they do. Being a good man does not automatically mean a woman will know how to value you. You can be loyal, steady, generous, patient, protective, hardworking, emotionally present, sexually faithful, and serious about building a future, and still find yourself with a woman who treats those traits like background noise. Not because those traits are worthless, because she may not have the maturity, training, humility, or emotional clarity to recognize what she has in you. Some women have never learned how to appreciate having a good man in their lives. That sentence will make some people uncomfortable because modern culture has trained women to scrutinize men endlessly while rarely asking whether women have been taught to receive, honor, protect, and properly respond to good masculine love. We talk constantly about men needing to step up, and sometimes they do. I have no problem saying that, but there is another side of this conversation. Some women are standing in front of a man who's just trying to love them well, to build something stable, to stay faithful, to provide leadership, to carry pressure, solve problems, and even create peace. And instead of recognizing the gift of that, they pick him apart. They compare him to fantasy. They resent his limitations. They focus on what he didn't say perfectly. They test him when he is already proving himself. They mistake consistency for boredom. They confuse calm with lack of passion. And they treat devotion like it's ordinary until they lose it. And then, very often, they look back and they realize the man they complained about was actually the safest, strongest, most reliable love they had ever had. And this is not a small tragedy. A good man is not just a man who behaves nicely when everything is easy. A good man is a man with character under pressure, who tells the truth when a lie would be easier, who stays when leaving would be more convenient, who thinks about the future when everyone else is chasing the mood of the moment. He's not perfect. Good does not mean flawless. Good does not mean he never misses an emotional cue, that he never says the wrong thing, that he never gets tired, that he never withdraws, that he never becomes frustrated, needs respect, appreciation, sex, peace, or encouragement. A good man is still a man. He still needs to be loved as a man. And one of the greatest mistakes a woman can make is believing that because a man is strong, steady, and loyal, that he didn't also need to be appreciated. That is how good men become tired. Not always from one dramatic betrayal, sometimes from years of being taken for granted. A man can survive pressure. He can survive hard work. He can survive seasons of sacrifice. Many men are built for it. What wears a man down is feeling like his effort disappears into the household or relationship where nothing is ever enough. He fixes one thing and she points to the next problem. He provides one form of security and she complains about how the form looked. He provides one form of security and she complains about the form it took. He shows devotion through action and she dismisses it because it didn't arrive in the exact emotional packaging that she would have preferred. He carries responsibility and she treats him like he is doing the bare minimum. This is where a woman's maturity really matters. This is where a woman's maturity shines through. A mature woman doesn't need a perfect man in order to be grateful for a good one. She can desire growth without contempt. She can ask for more tenderness without mocking his masculinity. She can express disappointment without erasing his effort. She can receive leadership without treating it like oppression. She can respect sacrifice without making a man beg to be seen. This is one of the great marks of feminine wisdom. A wise woman knows when she's in the presence of a man worth protecting. That's not controlling or worshiping or excusing if he becomes destructive. It's protecting, and that is the difference. She protects his dignity in public. She protects the peace of the home. She protects the bond from unnecessary outside interference. She protects his confidence by not making him feel stupid for trying. She protects the warmth between them by not letting every frustration become a character assassination. A woman who knows how to appreciate a good man becomes part of his strength. A woman who does not know how to appreciate one becomes another weight he has to carry. And men need to hear this clearly. Your goodness is not proven by how long you tolerate being diminished. There is a kind of man who believes that if you just love her harder, if you just give more, if you just stay calmer, if you just sacrifice longer, and if you just explain himself better, eventually she'll wake up and value you. Sometimes she will. Some women are teachable. Some women are inexperienced, wounded, poorly modeled, or conditioned by a culture that has taught them to look for oppression where there was actually protection. With patience, leadership, and honest conversation, some women actually do mature. Some women do learn to see the man in front of them more clearly, but some don't. Some women are not confused, they're entitled. They don't fail to see your effort. They see it and they believe they're owed even more. They're not testing because they're afraid. They're testing because chaos gives them power. Some women don't want a good man. They want a man they can consume. A man must learn to tell the difference, and this is where masculine leadership matters most. Not the loud, domineering, theatrical kind, the steady kind, the kind that observes reality without flinching. Is she growing in gratitude or only increasing the demands? Does she soften when she understands your burden, or does she use your honesty against you? Does she repair after conflict, or does she require you to absorb all emotional damage all by yourself? Does she admire your goodness, or does she only notice your usefulness? Does your presence make her more peaceful, more feminine, more loyal, and more warm? Or does your devotion make her more careless? These questions matter because a good man should not build his entire life around a woman who has no reverence for what he brings to the table. One of the most dangerous things a woman can do is become so accustomed to masculine goodness that she stops recognizing that it's so rare. A man who's faithful is not common. A man who wants to build a future is not disposable. A man who protects instead of exploits is not boring. A man who works, provides, leads, repairs, listens, touches, stays, and tries again is not something to roll your eyes at because he forgot the exact words you wanted in one tired moment. Women are often taught to identify red flags. Good, they should. But women also need to be taught to identify green flags and, even more importantly, how to respond to them. Because recognizing a good man is only the beginning. Knowing how to love him well is the art. A good man needs respect and warmth and desire and peace and honest correction without contempt. He needs to know that his woman sees the weight he carries and doesn't casually add to it for funsies. He needs to feel like his presence matters beyond utility. He needs to feel like a man, not just the employee, the chauffeur, the therapist, the wallet, the handyman, the emotional shock absorber. When a woman appreciates a good man properly, she doesn't become weak. She becomes powerful in the most feminine way. She becomes the place he wants to come home to. She becomes the woman he wants to keep winning for. She becomes the private confidence behind his public strength. She becomes part of the architecture of his legacy. That is not submission to inferiority. That is partnership with order. A good man is a gift, but a woman has to have the character to receive the gift without abusing it. And a man has to have the discernment to know when his gift is being honored and when it's simply being used. This is the Attraction Matriarch. And just remember, in all things, I want you to win.